Hey guys, it's Sam. Welcome back on my channel. Today's video is going to be a one brand tutorial. I will be using e.l.f. products, and there's quite a few of them that are actually going to be a first impression too. So we're just going to go with it, and hopefully it turns out well. I will be trying to do a holidays look, so hopefully, like I said, it works out and all of these turn out well. We'll see. So I'm going to try one of their new mineral face primer. I think it's the new one because I have the other packaging, so I guess it's the old version. This one is supposed to be like moisturizing and like leaving your skin with a flawless finish, so it seems to be somewhat of the same consistency though, so we're just gonna see. Yeah, it's really like silicone base. I kind of have like a love-hate relationship with those because I feel like they kind of tend to block your pores, but at the same time they feel nice on the skin. But I just don't like the feeling on your fingers after. It's like, ugh, I can't feel anything. By the way, I'm also going to attempt to only use like e.l.f. brushes. I don't have that many, but the ones that I have, I'm going to try to use. The only thing I won't be using is a foundation brush, just because I usually apply it with like a beauty blender. There's some affordable versions at the drugstore, like Real Technique ones, so I just can't stand the finish with a brush. So I'm going to use the e.l.f. Flawless Finish Foundation SPF 15 oil free. I got the colored porcelain, so hopefully it matches. It seems a little dark, but that's the lightest one they have. So oh, okay, there's a pump, so I'm just gonna apply it on my face. I'm not sure how the how full coverage or low coverage it is, but I'm just gonna go with like 1.5 pump, and we'll just go and watch. Is it me, or there's kind of a scent to it, like a little bit perfumey? Could just be me though, but the color seems to be not too bad. It's a little bit more yellow based than I would like, but I can work with that. It does seem to have pretty good coverage, not like full on because I'm using a beauty blender, but it does seem to cover quite a bit. Like you can really tell the difference. Gonna have to apply a little bit more, so probably like 2 pumps would be enough for your face. So first impression, I'm not sure if you're going to be able to tell on camera, but it doesn't match me perfectly, but it's not the worst. And I have pretty dry skin, and I feel like it does emphasize any dry patches on my nose. But if you have like more mixed skin, it might work better for you, but the coverage is pretty good. So I'm going to go next with concealer. I'm going to try the HD Lifting Concealer. This is just the brightening shade, so hopefully it's enough to cover my under eyes. I should have tried to cover them a little bit with the foundation, but we're gonna see the coverage it gives. In the past, I've tried like 2 of their other concealer, the, oh my god, that's super yellow. I've tried the dollar one, the duo ending, like the brightening side and the concealer side, and both of them gave like, I would say, light to medium coverage. It's really not a full coverage concealer, but unless you have like really bad under eyes, it's not that bad. I'm curious to see how well this one works. I've never tried it. Well, it is brightening, I'll give it that. Just gonna add a little bit to see if it adds a little bit of coverage in the inner corner. But it is extremely brightening. Like I can see on my viewfinder, it's like really intense brightening. Doesn't look as intense in real life, but on camera it really like, whoa. Yeah, I'm gonna try to blend that out a little bit more. I'm gonna zoom you in. Little warning, my skin is really dry, and I did apply some eye cream, but I feel like it does emphasize any line and dry patches. So you ready? Okay, so you might be able to tell, you can see a little bit of my dry patches and everything. Hopefully I'm perfectly in focus. Yeah, so hopefully you can tell it's not horrible whatsoever, but I mean it does emphasize it. So again, I think other products are more like, are just better if you have like more normal to oily skin, but I don't really have any problem with my skin. But I'm still going to try the complete coverage concealer just to see if the color could match if you have really pale skin too. So I'm going to try this. This one is in the color light. I believe it's the lightest shade they offer. I could be completely wrong. It does seem a little bit dark. I'm actually going to swatch on my arm so you can see the colors. So as you can see, it's not that bad. I believe like this one would be great if it doesn't crease under your eyes to just correct the darkness, which if you don't want to get the brightening effect, this could work too. So I'm just going to try to use a little bit of the lightest one on my face, anywhere I have like a little bit of something. I don't know, I don't really love it. And I really have to show you my nose, like it's really... I'm not sure if you're gonna be able to tell, like there's really a dry patch right there. It's like bugging me. But yeah, it does give you, actually, as you can tell, it's like, you can kind of see it, but I don't know, I'm kind of on the fence about it. Not sure. Now powder, I'm going to set my under eye with the e.l.f. Eye Definition Under Eye Setting Powder that everybody raves about, but apparently there's glitter in it, so I'm a little bit worried. I've never tried it. I'm going to use the Flawless Concealer Brush that I actually always use for that. So I just put some inside here, so I'm just going to apply it under my eyes. So I really don't see any glitter under my eyes. Like, you really have to like do a heavy swatch to get any on your hands, so it's really not that bad. And I do feel like it does set the concealer well, but since I don't love the concealer, it's really hard to tell, but I think it did a great job. I actually really like that brush though, so if you're looking for something like that, I highly recommend this one. Now we're gonna apply powder all over my face. I'm gonna use the e.l.f. pressed powder. This one is in the color Porcelain 2. I'm gonna use the e.l.f. powder brush to apply it. I'm just going to tap the excess because it does look a little bit yellow based. So if you have more like pinky undertone, it might be a little bit too yellow for you. I already know that I do like this powder. It's not my all-time favorite, but I do like it. Overall base, I feel like altogether like that, it's a little bit drying for my skin. I can feel it like, yeah. But it does give you a nice finish. It doesn't look that cakey or anything. If you apply like 2 coats of this, it could become a little cakey, especially if you have dry skin, but otherwise it's pretty decent. Now face, I'm actually really excited to try this. This one is the e.l.f. Contouring Blush and Bronzer Powder in Fiji, which is the matte shades that they came out with. I've been like trying to resist the urge of trying them, but I see I did swatch them for the video when I got them, but I haven't touched them since, and I'm really excited to try them, so we're gonna just go right now. I don't really have a good like contour brush from them, so I'm gonna just use, I think this is a crown brush. I like it for contouring, so I'm just gonna use this to contour a little bit. It does look a little powdery, so I'm just gonna take off the excess to not try to look too cakey. It always looks so much more dramatic on camera. In person, it looks really natural, and on camera, it's like, bam, contour. But I'm actually surprised that it looks pretty good because it is a little bit like yellow based, which I usually prefer them to be like really like almost gray tone, but it seems to do a pretty decent job. Like, this side looks intense. By the way, another brush that I highly recommend from them is the Kabuki brush. I feel like they are really fantastic for their price. Now the blush, we're gonna try again, same blush, same palette. Looks like a beautiful like a mauvey pink, so yeah, it's really pigmented. So fair skin, be careful. It looks amazing though. So I'm gonna try and use the e.l.f. stippling blush brush, just a stippling brush, and I'm gonna try to not apply too much. If you're looking to apply like a really bright blush like I'm doing right now, this brush is like fantastic because it's really not dense at all. So it will only like apply just a tiny little bit, so it's perfect. So I highly recommend this. I actually really like the finish. So if you're looking for a matte blush and bronzer duo, get the e.l.f. one. I love a good highlight, and I know that the e.l.f., this one is in Pinktastic, the Baked Blush is fantastic for that. It's like really intense. It kind of reminds me somewhat of a the MAC Soft and Gentle because there's the like champagne color, and it's like, you can even tell it's like a champagne color, and there's somewhat of a sheen slash a little bit shimmer glitter into it. Just gonna apply it with the e.l.f. small stippling brush. So woo, it's a little bit powdery, but finish is pretty intense. So I don't know if you can see, but I really like it. It's like really stunning highlight. I'm just gonna apply a little bit down my nose and tip, Cupid's bow, and I like it. I like it a lot. So if you're looking for an affordable highlight, the e.l.f. Baked Blush in Pinktastic is really fantastic. Now I'm gonna do my brow. I don't have a good brow brush from them. I know I used to use, I think it was in a gel cream that came out with like a teeny brush like this, but I'm just gonna use this one because that's the only one I have. So I'm gonna use their brow kit. I'm gonna start with the light one and see if it works. If it doesn't, I'm gonna go with the medium one. I can start with the wax just because I'm curious to see how it's gonna look. So overall, I think it worked great. It's just a little bit warm tone for me, but overall, I think it looks good. They do have a great spoolie brush for $1, so I highly recommend using this. I'm gonna try to set it with the duo gel for your brows and lash, blah blah blah. I know I love this. I've tried it before. I completely finished it. I know some people think they're different product, but the ingredient list is the same, so I don't think there's a difference both sides. So I'm gonna still try the brow side just in case. Yeah, I really like the finished look. So now we're gonna go with the eyes. I'm gonna try and use the smudge, but I really like the one that I have in Cruising Chic. I kind of want to use it because I really like it, but I'm going to try to go with like a golden eye and like red lips. So we're going to go and use the Gotta Glow. So as you can tell, every time I use them, touch them, I'm like, oh my god, that's way too creamy. It's going to smudge like crazy, but I've never had any issue with it. So where is it? Jeez, can't swatch properly today. I'm not sure you're even able to tell on camera right there. So every time I feel like they're gonna crease because they're so creamy, but I've never had any issue with it. You can always use like an eye primer underneath if you want to, but I'm not going to. So we're just gonna go with it. Just for a little bit more definition, I'm gonna use the e.l.f. Pressed Mineral Eyeshadow in What's Your Name? And I'm going to use the Real Technique. This is just a dome shadow brush. Just a little bit in the crease, just to add a little bit, of definition. To set the cream eyeshadow, I'm going to use the e.l.f. Bake Eyeshadow in the color Enchanted, which just looks like a golden shade. These work way better when you use them wet because when you swatch them, like they don't show up really well unless you apply a lot. Like you can't really, but since I'm wearing the cream eyeshadow, I think it's gonna be fine. If you want like more intensity, just use them wet. I know a lot of people like the e.l.f. liquid liner. I don't. I feel like it smudged a lot on me, so I'm just gonna use a Stila eyeliner. You can just use whatever you want. Just gonna apply a little bit of the Covergirl Clump Crusher. I don't really have any recent like mascara from them. I didn't really love, I think I tried the lengthening one, but at that price I don't expect much from mascara. But I'm gonna apply their false eyelashes that I actually really love, so you're not really gonna see my lashes. So I'm gonna apply the dramatic lashes that they have. I really like these, especially like on camera or events, because they look pretty dramatic, obviously. But I also recommend the natural lashes one because they seem actually even more dramatic, but these ones are longer and these ones are shorter, so they actually are even shorter than my own lashes. But it just gives you a little bit of a fuller lashes look. So in real life, I really like the natural one. So I'm going to apply these. I'm just going to cut them because they're bigger than my eyes. I personally don't recommend using this glue just because, you know, so I'm just going to use this duo glue one. And yes, it's normal if it smells like fish, because I get that question a lot, and yes, they just smell like that. But they work great. So the glue is still drying, but as you can see, they're pretty dramatic, but they really look nice, and they're $1. Like, you can't ask for any better for $1. So if you're looking to just try out false eyelashes, the e.l.f. ones are really fantastic. Now so I'm just gonna start removing any lip balm and at the same time kind of exfoliate your lips. So since it's a matte lipstick, I'm gonna use this. It works better if your lips are exfoliated. So I'm gonna use the e.l.f. matte lip color in Rich Red, which I believe should be in stock. So it's a beautiful like deep per red, but still a true red, so just a little bit more on the deep side, and it's perfect for the holidays. So I'm just gonna apply this. I think it's just a beautiful color. I really liked their matte lip colors. I actually did a lip swatch video of those and even their lipsticks, but this formula is the best of all of them. So this is my final look. This is what I would suggest to wear for the holidays. I think it's really appropriate while being a little bit fun with the gold eyeshadow and the bright red lip. I think it would flatter most skin tone too. Overall, the bases, I would say probably better if you have more normal to combination skin. Cheek products, highly recommend. I love their cheek products. Eyes, I do think they have great quality products, especially the Smudge Spot. I highly recommend those. Eyeshadows can be hit and miss, but I do like the mineral ones. And lips, I highly recommend the matte lip colors. So that's it, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to give it a big thumbs up if you liked it. Let me know in the comments what are your favorite e.l.f. product, because I want to know. And don't forget to subscribe if it's not already done. And I will see you in my next video. Bye.